Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Real Deal. Woo! Welcome to the new year, the Gregorian calendar, 2026. Anything happening big in the world, man? Any things going down? Like, new politicians being sworn in? All right. So you see that that Zoran Mamdani, he is the new mayor of New York City, the first Muslim mayor of New York City. And he was sworn in the other day, and he swore in on the Quran, the Islamic book, the Muslim book. Okay, that's fine. To each their own, different religions and everything, just as long as you're cool with everybody. But, people, do you know the history of this man? Do you know the history of this little Ugandan racist? All right, let me tell you right now. You guys all can call me whatever you want and say Islamophobia because you don't like Muslims. I never said that. I'm not implying that. But I do know when somebody's being racist. I do know what people do. I do know the history of things because that's why I come at you with the truth and get your brains opened up and tell you how it's going to be because I'm the real deal. I'm telling you the real deal. And I'm telling you the truth. This guy, man, buckle up, New York City, especially my Jewish brothers and sisters. It's going to be a wild ride out there. This guy has a history of anti-Semitism. Like a lot of people, they claim to be, religion of peace. They claim to be peaceful people. They claim this and they claim that. And not just Muslims, but a lot of religions do. A lot of Christians do that, yet they don't adhere to their own gospels because they've never really read them. And they go to church once a year. And when they do, they don't care. They don't care. They don't, and most people don't care. And nowadays, in 2026, if you do care, like people like me care, we're considered crazy. People say I'm crazy for doing this. I had a brother call me out the other day and say, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You got a target on your back. I said, yeah, I know. I've had one my whole life. It's all good, man. Yeah. I've known a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of things. A lot of the people, including my own, well, they didn't make it. And it happens. And it's horrific. I've lost people. I've lost friends along the way. Friends that told the truth. And it's sad. And I don't want to lose any more. And that's why I'm doing this. Because I want everybody to know the truth. And here's the thing. People will listen to this and they can say, well, he's just a conspiracy theorist, so don't listen to him. And that's how they go and tag you so they make you sound crazy. I'll tell you what's crazy. Crazy that the largest Jewish population outside of Israel is in New York City. And yet this dumbass, this little racist, he's the mayor there now. He's not going to be supporting Israel. Let me tell you what he did. His first day in office, his very first day, he went and repealed the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. He repealed what their definition of anti-Semitism is. So Mayor Adams had a lot of things. Adams supported the Jews. He knows that, he supported everybody. And he knows what it's like. And he was like, yeah, okay, I got no problem with the Jews. They're good people. They heal diseases. They cure diseases. They create technology. They pay taxes. They work hard. Just like a lot of other cultures. But some people have a lot of racism in their heart. And that's sad. But he repealed. That means took away, for those that don't know what words mean, he took away the definition of anti-Semitism. So now, basically, there is no definition, so you can say and do whatever you want. It's not considered racist. All right? If somebody was to walk up to a black man and drop the N-word, that's racist. Somebody was to walk up and say something bad about a Muslim, they call it Islamophobia. By the way, that's a newer word. We'll get to that in a little bit. That word hasn't existed very long at all. They created that to make it look bad, that you're racist against them. Somebody can walk up and spray paint something on a Jew right on his face, and they'll be like, no problem. They can put a swastika on them. They're like, oh, that's okay. I'm telling you the truth, people. He also overturned the anti-boycott divestment executive order, making it legal now to boycott Israeli businesses and organizations. So here's how I look at it. If you don't like a business, you don't go there. You don't like Burger King, you don't go eat there. But you let others go there, right? No, not now. Not with this. This is just the beginning, people. Those were his first 2 executive orders. Now, why do you suppose he's attacking the Jews like that? Because he has a big history of being an anti-Semite, or as I call it, an anti-Jew. Because that's what it is. They try to turn it around and say, well, Semite means this. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Anti-Jew. He's an anti-Zionist. He feels Israel doesn't have the right to exist. Zionism was established for the protection and the reestablishment of the Israeli homeland. Because in Israel, the calendar year is 5786. They go from the creation of time and the creation of man, where the Gregorian Julian calendar goes from Jesus' time. And the Muslims, they're hooked up with that, even though they came about, 600 years later after that. They've only been around for about 1,400 years. And if you've ever read the Quran or the Hadith, you'll see that there's a lot of hatred in there towards the Jewish people. There's hatred towards Christians too, people. But most people don't know this stuff because they look away and they don't care and they buy into all the BS. Now, old Mamdani, he's got a history of, He's an anti-Zionist. He's an anti-Semite. He has said and done a lot of bad things towards the Jewish people. But it's not the Jews. They don't hate the Jews. They just hate Israel. They don't want Israel to be its own land again. Anti-Zionist means you don't want Israel to be a state. You don't want Israel to be its own country. Zion is Israel. Everybody knows that. Judea, Judah, Zion, Israel, all the same freaking thing, man. Been around for thousands of years, people. Jews have been around for thousands of years. Way more than a lot of other religions are. And it's funny, everybody criticizes the Jews, cuts them down, condemns them. Why? They don't do anything wrong. Like I said, they create technology. They do all kinds of positive things for the world. Shoot, if you're picking up your remote control to change the TV channel and you don't like Jews, put it down. Jews created that. Don't be a hypocrite now. Man, y'all don't even realize the things that the Jewish people have done for the culture. And, here's the thing, too. All your best Christmas songs, written by Jews. It's the truth, man. Let me tell you, Irving Berlin wrote a bunch of Christian songs. And Christmas Christian songs. He was a Jew. His real name, Israel. But he had to change his name because people weren't interested. Like, ew, I'm not listening to songs written by a Jew. So he said, all right, I'll come up with some good old German name you'll all love. Irving Berlin. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Yeah. See, most people don't know things like this, man. And that's the problem with the world. The education system sucks in America now. And people don't want to learn things. People just want to learn what they want to believe in, whether it's true or not. On social media, you'll go read something on Facebook and you don't care. You'll read something, you'll go look it up right now and say, well, I saw on Google, this website, Al Jazeera, says Mamdani is a good man. Yeah, they'll also brag about Hitler on there. Now, Mamdani, he says, well, I wish people would understand I'm not an anti-Semite. Then what are you? You don't like Israel? Let me tell you, people. There's about 15 million Jews in the world. All right? That's a little more than the population of New York City. Most of them live in New York City. Most of them live in Israel, the only nation in the world, the only Jewish nation in the world. Been around for thousands of years, man. And I'll tell you right now, they ain't going nowhere. Israel's not going anywhere. A lot of people don't get this too. Israel is a very cultured nation. It's a very diverse nation. About 1/5 of it is Muslim. You have Hindus living there. You have Christians living there. You have atheists living there. Gays are more than welcome there. Trans are welcome there. Matter of fact, Tel Aviv has one of the biggest gay pride festivals in the world. Now, there's 57 Muslim nations and almost 2 billion Muslims in the world. Why don't you go over there and try to have a gay pride festival? See what happens. See how cultured they are, how diverse they are. They're killing Christians on a daily basis. You don't care. You don't care. The only time people care is when it directly affects them. So if you were Jewish and Mamdani was in office, you'd be like, hey, this ain't right. This is wrong. Now, if he starts attacking, let's say, Catholics, well, yes, now you're going to get upset. But other than that, most people don't care because the compassion and empathy in the United States has gone away. I've never seen it so horrible in my life. It's awful. Now, this guy, he's a phony. He's a shyster. He's nothing but a puppet. And this is what they want. They have said time and time again, they want to take over the world. What's going to happen? This is the beginning, people. There are already cities in America that are predominantly Muslim. Yeah, try to wear a Star of David in some of these cities. Try to walk through Dearborn, Michigan, with a yarmulke on your head. It doesn't go over very well, people. Now, this is nothing new. There's been a lot of cultures throughout history that have worked with the Muslims, tried to go hand in hand with them to extinguish the Jews. And like I said, history's out there, but you're not going to learn it. You have to dig deep to find anything. Or you can come listen to me because I'll tell the truth. And that's a big problem with our society. They're dumbing down our society. Our children. I saw a report today. This lady, a school teacher, said that 2% of her kids could actually literally read at a 9th grade level. They're in the 9th grade, people. What the heck? I've seen people, they ask for a signature, they don't know how to sign cursive. Graduated from high school, you don't know how to sign cursive. Come on, man. Brrr. Dumbing down everybody because it's easier to control everybody if they're stupid. It's easy to control puppets on strings if they're stupid because you're doing all the thinking for them. What do you think social media is all about? Yes, I like social media because you can share things, share pictures and spread peace and love and just be united, share happy things and jokes. Also, you can share some angry things. But when people share a lot of information, it's dead wrong. They've always done that. It's propaganda. They tell you what they want you to believe, and most people will believe it because it's easier than thinking for yourself. And if it kind of lines up to kind of similar to some of your beliefs, you're okay with that. Let me tell you about some stuff that went down about 80 years ago. Y'all heard of the so-called Holocaust, the Shoah, right? Yeah. Okay, there's people who don't believe that happened. They'll talk to somebody who got out of there with a tattoo on his arm and horrible memories. That's not true. That's fake. Oh, yeah, everybody goes and gets a tattoo of a number on their arm and has all traumatization. This is nothing new. It's the oldest trick in the book, divide and conquer. While these governments have all their power, all their money, just like the Romans, they built the Colosseum, and they used to have all those people in there watching the lion fights and the gladiators and everything, man. Well, what was the government doing? They were controlling the people. They were all meeting and saying, let's raise taxes, let's go to war, let's send all these grunts off to war, we got too many people. That's what they did. That's what they do today. What do you think some of our wars are about? About money? Population control? Give me a break, man. So anyway, back in the day, this guy, you probably heard of him, Adolf Hitler. He wasn't a big fan of the Jews. And he worked with the Muslims. He worked with the Muslims, the Mufti, over there in the Middle East. And Hitler was like kind of pushing the white supremacy with the Aryan nation. But these guys were okay because they hated Jews. So the Grand Mufti, now Mufti that's the supreme, not really leader, but he's an expert on things going on in the Muslim world. And At that time, it was 1941. They had a big meeting, although they've been talking since 1933. But Hitler met with him in Jerusalem. His name was Haji Amin al-Husseini, and they worked together as allies during World War II. And he was a nationalist leader, hated Jews, anti-British, very anti-Zionist. He did not want the Jews to ever come back to Israel. Here's the thing. Even when it was so-called Palestine, which it's only been for just a few years when the British called it that, because there's no real history of it. And if you go on Google and see otherwise, or Wikipedia, they're full of shit. Yeah, I said it. I'll tell you right now. They're lying through their teeth. It's not real. So it's always been Israel. It's always been Zion. And it's always going to be that way. And Jews still live there. Matter of fact, the coins would say Palestine. And it would say, it'd be written in Hebrew. Why? Because Jews still lived there. And they met together. And he wanted support from the Nazis and Italy, which was a basically Nazi fascist nation. And they were common allies. And their big enemies were the British and the Jews. And they met several times. And Hitler promised that. Hitler said they would aim for the destruction of the Jewish element residing in the Arab sphere once his armies reached the Middle East. Once they got through the southern exit from the Caucasus, then it would be okay, and he would do whatever it takes to keep them out of there. Al-Husseini ended up moving to Berlin, and he worked with the Nazis, and he worked with them with the propaganda with the Arabs and the Muslim world, and he would always go on and make anti-Jewish and anti-Allied broadcasts on Radio Berlin, and he'd always try to get the Muslims to rise up and, quote unquote, kill the Jews wherever you find them. Just like in the book of the Hadith, where the rocks will call out, there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. Oh yeah, those are real people. He recruited, they had Muslims in the Bosnian SS, the Waffen SS, the Mountain Division, the Handschar. I mean, this has been going on a long time, people, and it's not changed a bit. Now, when you go to Wikipedia and Google and all these places, I call it Fakepedia, because just a little bit of it is true. And you go look that up, you'll see that, well, he wasn't a bad guy. He didn't work with the final solution. Oh, really? Because he said, let's round him up and gas him. Send him here and gas him. Get rid of him. Gas him. Yeah, there's a lot of people that said that. And now we're like 80 years later, and what do you hear? I have never seen anti-Semitism, anti-Jewishness so bad in my lifetime. I thought people would learn from all the destruction and negativity that went on in this world. I thought people would learn from all the evil and badness, but they haven't. The only thing they're learning is how to be more evil. There's people supporting Mamdani, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's a great guy. He's going to turn New York around. Really? How? New York's already in pretty good shape considering what it is. I mean, you got millions of people, and you got a lot of poor people there, but that's any place that has a lot of people like that. And I tell you what, if I was Jewish in New York City, I think I'd be moving because it ain't going to be pretty. They're already going after them. Every day you see it. They're painting on the walls. They're putting swastikas. They're attacking the synagogues. They're killing people for being Jewish. They're beating them up. They're targeting them. But that's okay. Nobody seems to care about that except the people like me that have compassion in their hearts. It's going to get ugly, people. It's going to get very ugly. And you're just going to sit back and go, well, I'm not worried. I don't live in New York City. I'm not worried. I'm not Jewish. You think they're going to stop with the Jews? That's what people did during Hitler's reign, too. They looked around and said, well, I'm not Jewish. I don't have to worry. Yeah? What's going to happen when they come for you? Remember that, people. That happens. What's going to happen? You're probably going to join their side. That's what a lot of people did when Hitler rose up. They said, well, he's not so bad. It could be worse. Really? Yeah, I could be Jewish and dead. Right. Okay. That's what's going to happen, people. They're going to rise up. They want to take over. That is the goal. They've been talking about that for years. And y'all going to let them. Y'all just going to sit back and let them. Yeah. Some of y'all women out there are going to look pretty good in a hijab. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a thing they do where you can do certain things. Like a lot of countries would kick the Jews out. They say we were kicked out of 109 countries. No, the Jews were not kicked out of 109 countries. They left all those countries because it was like leave or die. Spain told the Jews in 1492. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue and Spain kicked out every Jew. They said you can either stay and pay us or you can convert to Catholicism or die. Or you can leave. And then they took back the pay thing and said, convert or die, basically, or get out. And a lot of Jews converted. But they're like, oh, yes, look at these little beads. Yeah, rosary, whatever. Ain't no beads. I don't care. Yeah, I got my beads right here. Go away. They did a good job of faking it. Just like during the Hitler years in Germany and Poland and all Czechoslovakia, Lithuania, all those countries. Death camps in all those countries. I'm not saying there's going to be death camps, people, but there's going to be some really bad stuff happening. And I want every Jewish person in America and actually in the world, I want you all to start packing. Get a CPL, get a concealed carry permit, whatever it takes. If you don't want to do that, get some pepper spray, get a taser, get something to protect yourself, especially in New York City. Because in New York City, the Orthodox Jews kind of stand out, if you know what I mean, and they're going to get attacked. They've been attacked. It's not going to stop, people. Things are going to get ugly. And this is just the beginning, and it's going to be coming to a city near you. Don't say I didn't warn you, man. I'm telling you the truth. Which side you're going to be on? You're going to be on their side, or you're going to be on the side of the real deal? Peace.